Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, vote in our live chat poll to let us know how you would rate this week's episode as well. And if you're watching on Twitch or Twitter or where else, Facebook, be sure to do whatever you're supposed to do on those platforms in order to hype up this video. Okay? Don't forget, you can also hear our recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. That's available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. So be sure to give us a 5-star review there as well. This is pre-recorded, okay? It's icy, it's snowy, got things to do. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I almost didn't even recap this because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I just watched it and now I'm like, am I even excited to talk about this? We've been saying how Real Housewives of Salt Lake City doesn't have good reunions. They have good seasons. This season was a little mid, but normally the reunions suck. And of course, in part 2, they're talking about the airplane incident. Did we ever figure out what actually happened on the plane? No. And it does feel like it's everyone against Lisa and Meredith, but that could be for a variety of different reasons. But they also did talk about Mary in this. So before we even get into our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap, I do want to implore you guys to like the video. And if you haven't already, topics like this and other topics like the Brooklyn Beckham of it all, or the, Donnie McClurkin of it all, or the Tyler Perry of it all, we will be discussing at the Kempire After Dark, a live show happening Friday, March 13th, here in New York City. There are meet and greets available, and a lot of things that you see on stage isn't what happens off stage. So if you are in New York City or want to be in New York City, get your tickets for the in-person event. But if you can't, understandably, because, times are hard, some people don't want to come to the United States, understandable. But you can still watch and experience the Kempire After Dark, a live show, one night only. Now, if you buy a live stream ticket, and you get to watch the show for a week after, but you have to buy your ticket before the show. Thank you to everyone that's already bought a ticket for in-person or for the live stream. We appreciate your support. Like I said before, for those that keep thinking Kempire is going to come back to Atlanta, he's going to come back to DC, he's going to come back. No, I'm not. Not this year. Nope, not this year. Just being 100% transparent. So you can't say, come July, Kempire, you're not coming to Atlanta. No, I told you in January. Okay. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Let's get to into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because I really don't have a lot to say. I do have my notes. So at the top of this reunion, Angie, as you know, at the end of part 1, confronted Lisa Barlow about this Instagram troll account that she says is connected to Lisa's phone number. So she pulls out the scroll, of course, in Angie's theatrics, pulls out this scroll, gives it to Andy. It's apparently comments from this troll account. They showed the troll account. And apparently when you look up this person's information, it goes back to Lisa Barlow's phone number. Andy confirms with Lisa that it is in fact her phone number. But Lisa, because Angie, this was dumb. Why would you even tell this to Lisa? I would hold this piece of evidence until the reunion so that she didn't have a response. So I don't know why. Maybe you try to confront her during the season. I don't know. I would have waited till the reunion. That way she would not be able to have some sort of response. Because her response, Lisa's response is that, what did she say? Basically, when, you could put anyone's phone number in if you're trying to set up your phone. I don't believe that, Lisa, at all, especially not with Instagram meta of it all. I don't believe that. You got caught out there in a lie. But I've said this countless times. Sidebar, y'all. Someone in the comment section, and you show yourself if you're watching this on YouTube, but you said it on Instagram. They's like, we know that you're I don't remember if they said stan, but they made it seem like I'm a Lisa Barlow stan. Oh,
lies, the lies.
When did that happen?
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
I was like, stand for Lisa Barlow? I'm actually surprised at how much I've come to Lisa and Meredith's defense at this particular point in time. But I don't stand for any of these people. There is not one redeemable person on this cast. And I don't even stand for Mary Cosby. I enjoy Mary Cosby in her different moments, but I can't stand for Mary Cosby because she says some problematic things too. And then the cult of it all. There is no one on this cast that I stand. And when I was liking Angie K, I saw who her husband follows. And then I said, oh, hell no. No, I don't stand none of these ladies. Not one near one of them. I don't stand. But I am also the person that has told you for years, be team you, because you don't know these people. So I always find, some of these people must be Johnny-come-latelys. Maybe I'm not saying it enough. Be team you. You don't know these people, and they don't care to know you. I'm telling you that for a fact. Because those housewives that be in your DMs trying to befriend you, and this goes for content creators and bloggers too, that you think that you are best friends with these housewives, they are not your friend. They are using you. They are using you. And notice how you don't hear from them when the season's not currently filming. These people are not your friends. They're using you. But some of you are okay with that. Some of you are okay with the possibility of just like, okay, use me. I'm going to get this information. I'm going to use it for content. That's good for you. Just as long as you know that. But anyway, I digressed. But let's get back. All right. I'm going to have to start using that voice note multiple times. More than the other one. I will be using the other one, I'm sure, at some particular point. All right. So, Lisa, you're caught in a lie. I don't even feel like playing this out for you guys in regards to could it be, could it not? Lisa got caught in a lie. Because Whitney jumps in, she's like, we checked it, and when you try to send if you're trying to reactivate the account, I don't remember the verbiage. If you understand, if you have an Instagram account, if you lose your password, if you're trying to log in, they send you a code to your phone number. That phone number, she confirmed to Andy, was in fact her phone number, Lisa Barlow's phone number. So Lisa, this particular account would leave negative comments under Angie's content. I just don't understand. If you're running a multi-million-dollar company, why in the world do you have time for these social media antics? But I guess part of your job is the social media antics. Sidebar, I didn't forget that Ben Affleck was asked about this. Shout out to the journalist that asked this, because no one else would have access to Ben Affleck like that to ask if whether or not he knew Lisa Barlow. He was very, what was the word? Diplomatic in his response, but it was very clear he doesn't know who Lisa Barlow is. But here's the thing. I think we already knew this, because she claimed that she was with Ben Affleck whenever. Was it 2024, 2025, whenever they were filming, and that's why she couldn't make it to their first group event. And they showed a picture from 2017. And it was like, okay, we're talking about what happened last year. And that picture from 2017 looks like it could have been anything. You could have been with a fan. I don't understand. I'm not getting it. Are you? Anyone getting it? I'm not understanding. I'm not getting this. But fine. Whatever makes Lisa Barlow feel better about herself, because she's a different person. She lives a very different life. All right, girl. Whatever you say. So she claims Angie claims that it's the same account that would watch her stories. So the same account would watch her stories, and apparently that account ended up changing the information, and Angie claims that the reason why they ended up changing the information was because Lisa was confronted by Angie about it. Angie should have slept on that and waited till you came to the reunion, because I don't think Lisa would have caught on before then. All right. So they start going back and forth. You know how the Housewives do. They're going back and forth. Andy's trying to get their attention. This was such an anticlimactic moment because the way they made it seem during the, and I told you that it would be, the way they made it seem during the reunion trailer, like, oh my God, Andy left. What happened? Why did Andy get off the stage? And I get it. He was frustrated, but he got up and you saw him walk away. I thought he was going to go back to his dressing room. It was so anticlimactic. He walks off the stage. Mary Cobb's like, don't go, Andy, come back. And then they all like, don't go, Andy, come back. And then he's like, are you guys going to be quiet? And he comes back and he sits down. What the? Y'all could have cut that out. The fact that y'all left that in says to me this was an anticlimactic reunion. Because the fact that that was left in there, I don't know if you guys thought that would be cute. I was just like, oh gosh, I can't. So Heather said that Angie's receipts, she was confirming that she also believed Angie's receipts because she was basing that opinion off of Angie's receipts in regards to this Instagram account. And she said because of the whole Canouan fraud port stupid thing that Lisa said on her social media, which we remember, if you go back, it wasn't exactly the same exact name thing that she did. But I do believe that she has been trolling her castmates on social media. But I also believe that they do too. Maybe they don't create accounts, but I do believe that they're talking to bloggers. Okay. Then they bring up Rolling Thunder, and we're all like, what the hell is Rolling Thunder? So apparently it was some story that maybe they were going to try and bring up about Meredith. It was a guy that she had dated when she was separated from Seth. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Rolling Thunder. Why are they calling it Rolling Thunder? I don't know. I don't know what the connotation is, but Meredith got ahead of it. Because Heather brought that up. So Meredith explained exactly what it was. And she was like, nothing. She was like, this is nothing. She said, if anything, it was more harmful to the other person involved than anything. Okay. Like, I'm trying to understand. I'm like, okay, there are quite a few moments during this that made me go, what is going on, ladies? Why? And I have to say, in this second part of the reunion, very much like the first part of the reunion, we're seeing a lot of unseen footage. So I'm trying to understand, and I'm a little frustrated. I'm like, why do we have to keep going back to unseen footage? Why wasn't that included? But okay, fine. So they talk about that, and then they take a lunch break. During the lunch break, Bronwyn, Angie, all of them are reacting to Lisa and Meredith because everyone else is on the same page about Lisa. And Bronwyn says that, Lisa is acting very different. She's acting very controlled. And I said that during part one. I was like, Lisa's not screaming and doing all the theatrics that she normally would do. She seemed very rehearsed. Some of you said that in the comment section after our last recap. She seemed like she was, some of her reads were practiced. Probably. However, some of them did land. Some of those reads did land, at least for me. Again, my thoughts, you can have your own. But I did feel like some of Lisa's reads landed. But in part two, who do you think was the MVP? Because I did feel like Lisa was the MVP in part two. Do you think Meredith was the MVP in part one? I thought Lisa was. In part two, I think Meredith might have been. Because I can't even, to the other side of the table, or the other side of the couch, I can't say that any of what they said landed. Nothing. It was just a bunch of screaming. Nothing that they said on that side of the couch made me go, well, maybe. I mean, maybe Angie scrolled at the beginning, but that was at the very beginning. Overall, the entire reunion, I will have to give it to Meredith because Meredith, although do I believe Meredith? Not 100%, but she was very believable. I mean, just the way that she was able to not lose control, because we've seen Meredith lose control, right? Look, hold on. We've seen her lose control. Her and Lisa, very controlled, very ready to answer. Also very ready to redirect. Because when Andy asked her whether or not she drank before getting on the plane, she's like, well, before we get into that, I think we should talk about the root of where Britani and I are fractured. Very good. I mean, although she hasn't probably practiced law in forever, she's still very much a lawyer. Because the way she was able to maneuver that, and Andy let her, Andy, it's time to wrap it up. You can't host these reunions anymore. The way that she was able to redirect that, I would have been like, okay, hold on. Before you tell us the root, can you just answer this question? Did you drink before you got on the plane? Just answer that. And then we can get to the root of your issue. Or we'll see next week if he's able to get to the root and go back and ask that question. We shall see. All right. So they take that lunch break. Meredith checks in with Lisa, and she says that she feels like that Lisa's holding her own. And Lisa looks over at like, which part? Lisa is so unserious. I mean, she's serious about being unserious, but she's just so. When she says that she reads, I'm like, really? Do you? I don't see depth when it comes to Lisa. So Meredith and Lisa mentioned the airplane because Lisa says, they're going to bring up the airplane incident and we have to be prepared to have each other's back. So they're preparing. They're preparing themselves. Okay. But Meredith is just like, why are they so obsessed with us? What is that about? It is giving like that. Although I don't believe Lisa and Meredith are 100%, and I do believe they were being mean girls on that plane, the way that this group focuses on them, and some people speculate they focus on them because they have nothing else going on or they don't want people looking at their stuff. Maybe. I know right now they're probably thinking about casting for Salt Lake City in regards to who's coming back. That's a big conversation that people are having on social media. They definitely need to shake up the cast a bit before it gets a little too dry. Yeah. All right. So back from lunch, of course, they go into Mary Cosby's package, everything that Mary Cosby has gone through this season. So as they're showing the moments with Robert Jr., Mary gets emotional watching that. She confirms that her son is in fact incarcerated until next month. But they filmed this how long ago? At the beginning of December. So he's been there, but for her, and understandable because she can't control him. When he's outside, he's living in her house, he's getting high, he's going over to his estranged wife's home, even though there's a restraining order against him. He's gone over there multiple times and gotten arrested. This last time he got tasered. And now he's been in the jail. Andy asked Mary if she's gone to see him. She's like, no, I don't want to see him like that. She says she speaks to him every day, but she doesn't want to go to see him like that. I don't blame her. Robert Sr. apparently hasn't gone either, but I guess he's going to go. And he's asking Robert Sr. to bring him books. And they're like, oh, maybe you'll bring Heather's book. And she's like, yes, you're in it. And she's like, oh, I'm in it? And Andy's like, you haven't read it? Apparently not. I mean, I'm not surprised that she hasn't read it. Did we expect the entire cast to read the book? Well, I guess if she's in it, you probably at least want to read your chapter. So apparently, I wonder what did she say about Mary in the book? Hopefully it was good stuff. Okay. Anyway, so she's feeling like this is the best place for him to be because she's hoping that he will go cold turkey with this. He will be able to get his mind right. He's not getting high. So I really do wish him the best. He's very young, and God only knows what he's seen. And I really do wish him the best, especially because of what we've seen of him. And we understand that this is a journey. I really hope after he comes out of jail, he really gets his life together. I really do. I really hope that he gets his life together. But reality television definitely isn't the space because, people are so critical of people just with addiction. You would be surprised. I've seen some things when we talk about addiction here on the channel, or we cover stories about addiction. The internet, you faceless keyboard warriors can be so disgusting. I hope you realize this. What you say, what you write down about people on social media, please understand that stuff is not hurting them. Yeah, it can. If they read it, it will hurt them, but it's hurting you far more. Because you are putting that negative energy out on the internet towards other people. So your insensitivity, your mocking, your disgusting language, all of that is affecting you. Just saying. Anyway, I've digressed. I really digressed. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And if you're listening to this, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And you guys have been asking for me to give you the Are You Okay merch. Well, now you can get sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, and now the mugs. You guys asked me for the mugs, and the mugs are here. The mugs are here. Get your Are You Okay coffee mugs and travel mugs now available. And for those that are just joining us, yes, today's live recap is pre-recorded. It's okay. You'll be strong. You're still getting the recap. All right, let's move on. Back to Mary in her documentary. Her documentary. Just say, for those that may have missed it, yes, I know I'm in the documentary. I had no idea. They never reached out to me that I would be in the documentary. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. At least 4 times that we know of. At this particular point, I still have not watched the documentary because I discovered that I was featured in there without being told. They had their PR campaign people reach out to me in order to promote it and talk about it without even telling me that I wasn't in it. All right. And yeah, that's all. And what I also noticed in the documentary is that they fudged numbers in regards to the amount of views videos had or comments videos had. So for me, stuff like that already takes away from the credibility of the documentary. I've already told you this. I'm not going to take away from what the victims have said in this documentary. I'm not going to. However, the credibility of how this documentary was put together is questionable to me based off of my experience. But anyway, I've said what I wanted to say. They talk about this documentary. Andy brings it up. And she also talked about that she has no regrets of not mending fences with her mother before she passed away. She said that they've been estranged for 20 plus years. Okay. So Andy asked about the documentary, and she turns to Whitney because when in the documentary, when they talk about her, the congregation seeing her as God, she's like, oh, well, you said that on this show. And they flash back to when Whitney said it on the show. Whitney says that she feels bad about it, and she's glad that the audience, because Andy points out, it seems like the audience really is supporting you. Here's the thing with Andy and the network: even if there was some legitimacy to the story, the fact that the audience is still like, oh my God, we love Mary Cosby. Mary Cosby is a star in the Bravo universe. Okay, the fact that it's not bad PR for them, that's why they're going to try and dispel this documentary. I wouldn't be surprised if they talk about it next season, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't talk about it because they don't want to give a light to this documentary unless they want to make it a storyline, which I wouldn't put it past them either. So Mary says a lot of what some of the, when Taria was on here, she talked about this too, when we talked about the documentary, about how is this different than the Mormon church? She says, people just don't understand our church. It's a Black church, so there's certain things that they just don't understand. A lot of you have said that in the comment section as well. Okay. Mary and Lisa get into it. And Lisa didn't see this coming either. Because Mary says that Lisa and Meredith are friends now in regards to their relationship, because their relationship comes up. And Mary points out the clip that we always play. Well, she didn't point out our clip specifically, but she was just like, you guys are friends now. What about that hot mic? Well, she didn't say the hot mic moment. She said, what about the time you called her a whore and slept with half of New York?
Got me.
What?
You need to go yourself.
Some of you tagged me and said, Kempire, I feel like Mary Cosby's watching your channel. Well, look, even Andy said, that moment permeates in my brain every time I look at you guys as a friendship. Me too, Andy. I don't think you need to watch the channel. I think if you started playing it with music, because we added the music, maybe, but okay. So Meredith doesn't understand why people can't move on. They're always accusing her of not moving on. But she's like, we've moved on. We've mended fences in regards to that. I think very much like what Andy says, people find it hard to believe. Like, how do you get over something like that? I'm not saying that you can't. Even Andy was like, I marvel at it. I don't know. I don't know how someone does that, because Andy holds a grudge. So if y'all think that he's gotten over what Nene has said about him on social media, girl, he hasn't. So he's just letting you know he still has not. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I can be forgiving. You guys let me know if you're a forgiving person, and let me know what your astrological sign is. I think it takes a lot for me to be done with you. But when I'm done with you, I'm done. But it takes a lot, especially if you were a close person. First of all, in order to become close for me to care about whatever you do to me, that already would have taken a lot. So if you become close to me and then you burn that bridge, oh, I'm done. But it takes a lot for me to be done. Just saying. And Meredith, what is Meredith's sign again? Oh, Sagittarius, right? They're both Sagittariuses. But I could also see, I also feel like Sagittariuses don't hold grudges like that. But I could be wrong, because I'm not a Sagittarius. You guys will let me know. All the Sagittarius. I don't feel like you guys kind of give me, you are open to forgiving. I don't feel like you will hold a grudge. So I'm not completely surprised that she would move on. But also there's the element of you're filming a reality show. And that could be the reason why they've decided to move on. Are they best of friends? No. I don't see them hanging out outside of the show like that. I don't see them going on vacations together. I definitely see Mary Cosby and Angie K really, really close. I don't see Lisa Barlow and Meredith being close like that. I see them being civil. I see them having a friendship, but I don't think they're close. I definitely don't think they're close, especially after that. All right. Moving on from there. So Mary and Lisa go back and forth, and Lisa's so confused. She's like, what is happening? She's like, because Mary calls a thing. One thing I'm going to give it to Mary, because Mary is not normally very clear, and sometimes she can, fumble over her words, but not at this reunion. Okay, so Mary Cosby might be my MVP for a part 2. Because she was very clear with a lot of stuff. She was clear when talking about this documentary. She was clear with her issues when it comes to Lisa Barlow. She's like, Lisa, she's like a dark spirit. And she read Lisa down. Not in the way that we're used to reading. You are seeing our ladies from Potomac and Atlanta read people. But for this show, I was like, oh, Mary, not Mary having all the points together when it comes to Lisa. She had pointed out a bunch of stuff. She's like, Lisa says that Mary doesn't move forward. And Mary points out all the reasons and examples of how she's moved forward. She's like, you and Whitney talked about my church, called it a cult. Then you brought Cameron on the show. I can't move forward. I was like, look at Mary Cosby. Mary Cosby has really evolved. If you remember Mary Cosby from season 1, she really wouldn't engage. Like, she would have her moments. She would be problematic for some of her comments, but she really wouldn't engage. And at one particular point, she left the show. But since she's come back, that first season after she came back, she really wasn't engaging. But since after that, she really started engaging. And I told you, I think some of that is because Mary wanted that check. I do believe Mary wanted that check. I think she's discovered a new way of making money. Maybe. All right. Let me be careful, because you know these documentarians come out of here and take little clips and then put it in a documentary and make it something else. Look. All right. So then they come back from the commercial break, and then they go into the airplane incident. Do you have any better understanding what happened on this plane than we did during the season? I already told you, some of you speculated and believed the lies you saw from people posted on social media. They had people sign NDAs when they got off the plane and da-da. No, they didn't. They can't do that. Y'all just make stuff up. And they're going to play footage at the reunion. And I was like, no, they're not. Because what we're talking about are federal crimes. And you saw what Andy said when Meredith brought up there was a producer behind her. And didn't Heather say on Watch What Happens Live, that producers were in first class with them. Now Andy's saying, "Oh no, the producer was in a different different service class than you." And I said, "Wait." I said, "Here comes the damage control. Are y'all watching the channel, producers and executives? Probably." Because I told you, this is a serious HR nightmare. This is not even just an HR nightmare. This is a federal nightmare. An incident happened. People on this plane could lose their job because they didn't file an incident report that there was bullying happening on this plane. I told you it was a logistical HR federal nightmare. So there was no way they were going to play any footage of Meredith losing her mind on a plane. Do I believe she did? Yes. Do I think that she was passive aggressive when she was coming across trying to go to the bathroom and she's talking about Britani? You're a terrible human. And she's shaking it, shaking a little. Oh, the damn turbulence, the turbulence. You know she did. You know she did. I believe Meredith did go off. I believe Meredith was inebriated, but you can't prove it because producers didn't pick up their cameras and their phones. The ladies didn't pick up their cameras. And honestly, because, you know, yes, you're on a reality show, but this reality show has real life consequences. For Meredith's sake, I'm happy for her. Meredith, you better never do it again, though. That you lucked out this time. You lucked out this time because the majority of the cast has the same story, including Mary Cosby. Only you and Lisa don't have the same story. But Lisa did say she's never seen you like that before. So I don't know. All right. What else happened? So they talk about the, okay, wait. Bronwyn says that marriages come up in this group and no one bullies other people because they're talking about how Britani brought up the TikTok about Meredith's marriage. I don't really think it had anything to do with, I don't think she cares that much about Britani's opinion about her marriage. I don't really believe the marriage stuff is what triggered whatever Meredith did on the plane. I think Meredith was inebriated, and that's why she did that. I don't think she was that bothered by comments about her relationship with Seth. I really don't know if I believe that. What do you guys think? So Bronwyn claims that she has proof that Seth is, not Bronwyn, sorry, Britani claimed on Watch What Happens Live that she might have proof that Seth was cheating. So she says that Seth told someone close to her, Jared, we found out, told close to her that Seth has 2 girlfriends where he works. And that's been the rumor on the street. Look, there have been other TikTokers that have talked about this too, that he has 2 girlfriends where he works. Okay? But Meredith, you know, is effing half of New York.
She can go herself.
Oh, I don't have enough water. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so then they show some never before seen footage from Amy's party, and according to Lisa, she says that Jared has told them a bunch of different things, including that Todd goes to Dubai for ED. For those that didn't know what ED, erectile dysfunction pills. He goes to Dubai for them. Don't they got them in the United States? Why he gotta go to Dubai? They cheaper in Dubai? Todd father? Did he get some gas sex while he's out there? Why are you getting the ED and you farting and kissing and kissing and farting? Farting and kissing, kissing and farting. Kissing and farting. Kissing and farting, farting and kissing. Oh. Did I really just break out in song? Kissing and farting. Sorry. Okay, focus, serious. So Jared said at Amy's party, at first he didn't want to say it. Jared is messy. I get why Jared and Britani are together. They are the same person, the same personality. They want attention. They like this attention. They apparently want to be famous. Maybe he thought he'd be the next Osmond and never was. I wish people would try and become famous for actually having some sort of legitimate talent. Have a legitimate talent in something. Have a personality. No. Please understand, production, because I know you watch. Do not bring Britani back if, hold on, because I do think Britani is good for this cast. Don't bring it back if it's still something involving Jared. It better be her, I'm done with Jared, we're no longer together. It better be that, because I do not want to see or hear anything more about Jared. The fact that Jared's over here gossiping at Amy's party about the Todd father and his ED and the farting and kissing and the kissing and farting. All right. All right. So Andy says, everyone is asking, why didn't anyone on this cast record the incident? So apparently, the morning of the reunion, Whitney says that she regretted. She said this to Heather. So Heather's telling this. She said that she regretted not recording it. So Heather basically calls Whitney a piece of ish because she said, what kind of piece of ish would you record something like that? And then a fan called out Heather in the actual comments that they sent to Andy and says that, well, you recorded in the bathroom in Palm Springs when Lisa lost her $60,000 ring. Well, I don't know if that's the same thing because what we're seeing here is actually some bullying happening. So I don't know if people should be recording that. But I'm just shocked. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of other examples. You'd love to sit here and produce and be an executive producer, Heather, that I am surprised that you wouldn't record. Something is very fishy about them not recording. And I feel like in 2 years, very much like the black eye, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. You think she's going to blame production again, Heather? I'm so over Heather. Heather has become so... I remember, because I've been watching Salt Lake City since the beginning. When you guys were not interested in Salt Lake City, I was watching it. I was like, I want to give it a watch. And I was like, oh, this is not a bad show, except season 3. And I said to myself, Heather is the MVP her first season, but she didn't believe that. She didn't see herself that way because she's never saw herself that way. And even now, weight loss, anything, she does not see herself that way. And I mean, she's no longer the MVP. She's definitely no longer the MVP. She's become so unlikable. So, everyone keeps saying that she must be pissed that she wasn't one of the OGs picked for Salt Lake City. You know why you weren't picked? Because you guys keep coming for Lisa and making Lisa the big thing. And now you're going to regret it because now she's the queen she's the queen only because Mary probably said, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I want to be home. Robert is supposed to be coming home, but I think they'll be done filming by the time Robert comes home. Robert Jr. comes home. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised that she wasn't asked before Lisa. I saw a clip. Shout out to our friends over at Bravo and Cocktails. There was a clip of the ladies that are part of the main cast, the principal cast. They already started filming in the OC for this Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip. I also gave you some exclusives if you missed that on my Tube of You channel, YouTube channel. I'm so used to talking on TikTok. You can't say other social media platforms on TikTok. What world are we living in right now? We can't say other social media platforms on your social media platform. I can say it on YouTube though. Angry much? Sorry. Anyway, for those that are just joining us, just so you know, this is pre-recorded because some people are joining and like, is this pre-recorded? I'm whispering so Kempire doesn't see. I'm asking. I see it. Oh, goodness. All right. Moving on. All right. So they go back and forth. I really could sit here all day and talk to you about the back and forth and all the little things that they said about this airplane incident. Everyone is saying the same thing they said during the season about the airplane incident. They said that Meredith was belligerent. Meredith was being mean. Meredith denies it. She says, I never denied that there was something that happened. What I'm denying are the details of what happened. Andy asked Britani, what exactly happened? And Britani says that the bulk of what happened towards the end of the flight. So there was a lot that couldn't happen. She was saying that the flight attendants were telling her to take her seat. She said there was wine all over her seat and things like that. I can't remember what Britani said during the season. I do feel like there's some discrepancies, but again, we're watching edited show, so it's hard to even piece everything together. And I think some of that is intentional to kind of keep us off of the scent of what really went down. But like I said, I believe something went down. I believe what the majority of the ladies are saying of what happened. I kind of am mad that Bronwyn wasn't on there because if anything, Bronwyn would have had Bronwyn probably would have recorded it, to be honest. But and the big question, why didn't they record it? And they basically were like, yeah, we don't know why we didn't record it. Brittany, I understood why Brittany wouldn't record it because Brittany was like, the last time I recorded it, Meredith lost it on me. And they flashed back to that moment. Honestly, thought I would have recorded it regardless, just for my own proof. But that's me. I don't understand why no one recorded it. Hence why when this initially happened, I said, are they playing with us? Are they trying to create a moment so that they can spin this as their next big moment for the season? Remember Andy said several weeks ago that these next 5 episodes of Salt Lake City are going to be, I can't remember its exact words, but he was hyping up so much, only for those next 5 episodes to be mid. Andy, you're better off not saying anything. You're better off not saying anything. And I get it. You think by saying it, it's going to bring in the views, which it hasn't. It hasn't. If anything, it takes away from your credibility. No one believes you when you say, oh my God, this season of blah, blah, blah is going to be amazing. You're better off just not saying anything. Just let it speak for itself. Let the greatness, if it is greatness, speak for itself. And if it's not great, you're like, I never said that it was. Oh my goodness. All right. Then they show, can you imagine? Oh, they said, okay, unseen footage of Meredith called out Heather for supporting Britani. So they go back to when they were on the yacht. And Meredith was talking about how she felt like none of the group supported her, specifically Heather. And she says that they should go back to that moment. And Meredith says to her, like, I feel like no one has my back. And Heather says, I'm just trying to survive. And then Meredith laughs in that moment. So it feels like it wasn't that serious. Meredith says that Heather screeched at her for the next 2 months. For some reason, that perturbed Heather. And Heather says, well, you know what? This friendship is over. This friendship is over. Then she says, buckle up, Meredith. It's not going to be a fun ride. And then Heather says, I've had your back multiple times. And she lists all the times that she's had Meredith's back. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, yes, the incidents that she brought up, I don't know if I would say that you had her back, but I guess you were somewhat supportive. But even Lisa's like, wait, is that a threat? It felt like a threat. What does that mean? Are you going to be speaking to the blogs? Are you going to be coming for her next season? Is she going to be your new target next season? It felt like she was your target this season, but okay. Meredith says she doesn't understand why no one came to Britani's defense. If this really happened, why didn't anyone come to her defense? And she said, why didn't you guys check in on me? And she says, I did. And Meredith confirmed it. When I went to the bathroom, you did have a conversation with me. So Britani then tells her side of what happened in that moment, okay? And why no one switched seats with her. And she said they didn't switch seats with me because we were about to land. We were starting to go down. So we were being told to sit down and buckle up and all that stuff. And that's when she says that her seat was drenched with wine. Okay. So Meredith says that she had a producer behind her. And that's why Andy says she was in a different class of seat. That's not what Heather said on Watch What Happens Live. I need to go back and watch that moment because I need to look at your reaction. Did they even say that there was an investigation? Because there should have been an investigation. They didn't say it during the reunion. And I thought they would, that there was an investigation into the incident. This is a work event. This is a work event. This is shocking to me that they wouldn't put some sort of disclaimer out there. This was investigated and it was discovered that it was inconclusive. But technically they can't say that because if it was an investigation, the investigation is supposed to be confidential. They could say that it was investigated. But I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't have some sort of investigation. Pat Jamali, please weigh in. I'm pretty sure they had some sort of investigation. Maybe they are not going to say it, but I think that they would cover themselves at least on this show, but to let the world know This was investigated. We can't tell you the results of the investigation, but it was investigated. All right. I don't know. It's interesting. So, Meredith denies having any verbal or physical contact with Britani. So then Andy says what I say. You sure? Maybe passive aggressively. You didn't like shake her chair, because she wasn't directly behind Britani. Lisa was. And she's like, you sure you didn't like, passive aggressively shake her chair? I believe she did. And probably like a little extra. All right. Then Andy asks Meredith, did you have a drink before getting on the plane? So Meredith redirects the question. She's like, before I answer that, I think we should talk about the root of why our friendship is Britani and not my friendship is fractured. Then she goes into this long story. Didn't that feel long for you guys? Because this was like the last 15 minutes of the reunion. I was like, okay, we're going on a journey right now. So basically, I'll give you the cliff notes. So apparently there was this nail tech that posted some of these anti-Semitic things that both Meredith had utilized before. She didn't know this until after. And she apparently this nail tech has been in her home. And Britani also used this nail tech. And Britani posted a favorable review after the nail tech asked her to post it, because apparently the nail tech at the time was getting all kinds of backlash on social media and terrible reviews. So she ended up writing this good review for him. Meredith confronted Britani about this review and explaining to her like it was anti-Semitic, blah, blah, blah. So Britani tells her side, and she was just like, I cradled Meredith when I found out, and I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then the reunion goes in a place where you saw this during the trailer when Britani decides to get up and leave. First of all, pay attention to Mary Cosby anytime Britani was talking. She's just rolling her eyes like, oh my goodness, she can't stand that girl, that woman. But my thing is, she gets up. I don't know how this escalated so quickly. She starts, she cried real tears. I definitely saw tears. But she's also an actress. No, literally, she's an actress. Yeah, you don't know that? They talked about her, it was the season finale during the trip where Heather called her, she's probably the most accomplished of us all. No. Okay, D-list movies. But she's an actress, so maybe she knows how to cry on cue. But she gets really emotional. Look, no one wants to be called anti-Semitic. That could ruin you. And she's like, I am not going to take that. She gets upset. She's like, I am not a victim. But even when she walks off, no one's saying it. Again, edited show. It could be they edited out what people were saying. But no one's saying anything towards her as she's walking away. And she's like, I am not a victim. Leave me alone. Girl, we weren't even chasing after you. You could go. You don't have to come back. And I hope you don't come back. It'll be interesting to see if anyone goes after her. The only one that might go after her is not Whitney. Heather. Because Heather, as Britani's crying, Heather's like her fake crying, like her making up her face like this. Did you say that? And I'm just like, here we go with the fake tears from Heather. Heather is so unlikable. Oh my gosh. I'm like so tired. I'm so tired of Heather. I'm looking at Heather. I'm like, why is Heather now all of a sudden scrunching up her face like she's trying to force a tear to come out those beady eyes? I was just like, I just can't believe how Heather has fallen from grace. I don't know. I don't know how we got here. Maybe we will know more by December, more by March 13th. The Kempire After Dark, a live show, one night only, returns to New York City on Friday, March 13th at the Green Room 42. There are meet and greets available, in-person tickets. As I said before, I'm not coming to any other city. Come to New York City if you can. Get on that train, get on that plane, okay? Get in that car. Come to New York City. I promise it's going to be a night filled with tea, people spilling tea. Every time we do this, people are spilling tea. You just never know. Just never know what is going to happen. Get your tickets today, but if you can't, I understand. Some of you do not want to even fly into the United States. Understandable. You will have access to a live stream ticket option. Get your live stream ticket today if you haven't already. All right? Let me know in the comments if you've gotten your in-person ticket or your live stream ticket. Okay. All right. Ticket information will be available in the description with everything else. I always forget to promote my cameo. Someone just requested me the other day for a beautiful cameo. Shout out to the husbands, okay? If you have a birthday, anniversary, or you just want a just because message, a uplifting message for me, I'm on Cameo, the Kempire on Cameo. More information on that. Everything Kempire, including our merch. You guys asked me for this damn mugs, and I brought the mugs to you. The mugs, are you okay? Mugs are here, and travel mugs, okay? Head on over to houseofkempire.com. That's HAUS of Kempire.com, or just go to TheKempire.com and click the shop button. Easy peasy, quick and easy, right? All right. Anyway, if you guys had to rate this week's episode of the part 2 of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, how would you rate it? Honestly, because we talked about the airplane moment, it doesn't feel like it's getting better. It feels like, okay, part 1, it wasn't that great. Part 2, what are we talking about in part 3? The play? Oh, Bronwyn's going to reveal in part 3 that she's getting a divorce. Is she separated from Todd? We already know. What else? What new bombshell could she tell us? Oh, we also have Whitney who's going to run off the stage. Oh, is she going to announce that she's having marriage troubles with Justin? Because remember, she got to talk about that. That's part of her storyline. Another lackluster reunion for Salt Lake City. That's not good. This is why y'all need to give props to our cities that have brought it during the season and during reunions. Shout out to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, maybe not the recent years, but the early years are strong years. The big millions and millions of viewers watching live. Shout out to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hopefully they bring it this season. Anyway, I say all that to say, like the video. If you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to anyone that sent in Super Chats, Venmos, Cash Apps. I appreciate that. I always love it when I go to my Cash App and I got a little, change to get me lunch or something. So thank you to those, the Cash App, the Venmos, the PayPals. All that information is in the description. I appreciate it. Coins are coins. Look, as Stacy said, I know how to stay rich. Anyway, I know I need to put it on a t-shirt. All right, y'all. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you again to our subscribers, our channel members, our King's Guards. Those of you that are still not subscribed, it's okay. We just hit 63,000 subscribers. If you're new here, be sure to let us know your thoughts. As you can see, some of you came in from our pop culture stories, and you're like, oh my God, you also talk about reality television. You talk about Housewives. This is my safe space. So shout out to those of you that are new here. Let us know if you're new. All right. The voice is gone. Let me get out of here. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching and for listening. Bye, y'all.